Now, at least 60 people are reported to have been killed in Israeli strikes across Gaza. That is according to the Hamas-run health ministry. A dozen people were killed near the Palestine Stadium in Gaza City, which was sheltering displaced people, along with 8 more living in apartments. That's according to staff at the Shifa hospital. And it follows an attack earlier in the week where at least 44 people were killed after Israeli forces and drones opened fire on people waiting for aid in 2 separate incidents in Gaza. That is according to witnesses and hospital officials. We've not had any immediate comment from the Israeli military on these latest attacks. Nada Al-Taher is a senior foreign reporter at The National and joins us now. Hello, Nada.
Hello, hi.
What can you tell us about this latest attack today?
Unfortunately, it's nothing new. It's nothing that we haven't seen before. It's nothing that we haven't been seeing for the past 2 years. Every single day, the deaths are in the double, if not triple digits in Gaza. And these are not figures that are just emanating from one unconfirmable source with an agenda. It's figures that we are seeing from doctors on the ground, from UN agencies, local agencies, other international NGOs, videos that we are seeing. Nothing is sacred in Gaza, nothing is safe in Gaza. Hospitals, schools, places where people shelter, where the displaced are. And it's always something or the other. It's always targeting Hamas or targeting armed groups. But really, at the end of the day, you're targeting, and we're seeing the targeting of civilians. And so what we have seen today, whether it's a school, whether it's a market, it's nothing new.
And of course, many of these incidents have involved the new system of aid distribution, where it appears that people who were queuing for aid ended up coming under fire. And we have, though, had the US trying to bolster this new group, which has taken over from the UN in terms of trying to take the lead in humanitarian supplies.
To call it a system is an overstatement. It's nothing but a bunch of people with guns asking civilians to queue for food that is not enough to sustain them, and asking the civilians to basically fight to the death every single day to get food that they are otherwise, and even with that aid, starving. We are seeing images of of children that are starving to death, literally starving to death every single day, and they're in the thousands.
But
And
of
then
course,
we're
we
seeing
should be clear that, of course, independent reporters and organisations, including the Times, are not allowed into Gaza. So it's difficult to verify these things. And the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation itself, its boss, Johnny Moore, has accused the UN and other international organisations of spreading information they cannot verify, and has said that it is not true that all of these killings have happened around its aid operations.
Let's look at the facts. Israel is in charge of security in Gaza. Israel is part of the Gaza so-called Humanitarian Foundation, which is supported by the US. A report from Haaretz, an Israeli newspaper, said that Israeli soldiers, and using their their testimonies, have been ordered to shoot at civilians. Witnesses that we've spoken to, doctors that we have spoken to, humanitarian workers that we have spoken to in Gaza that do not have a wider agenda of sorts, do not even have the time to think of a wider agenda while they're trying to save lives, have told us that yes, they are receiving people with bullet wounds, gunshot wounds to the head. And I've personally interviewed the family of one such victim. Whoever is firing is irrelevant, because Israel is the ultimate one that is in charge of security in Gaza and around these aid distribution sites.
Of course, Israel is clearly pleased that its war with Iran, with the backing of the United States, appears to have brought that conflict to an end, at least for now. What do we know about what is happening in terms of negotiations to ensure that ceasefire is not just temporary?
The whole thing is quite fascinating. We're obviously in the UAE very close, in close proximity to Iran, and so we were seeing how people were preparing for the worst. At the same time, the US president has effectively halted hostilities between Iran and Israel using a phone call and a tweet, more or less, if we want to really boil it down to what it was. But it was really his word that was taken to end
Well,
all
and
of
of course,
this.
the bombing of Iran's nuclear sites.
And of course, the bombing of Iran's nuclear sites, and the damage of that is disputed because American intelligence in the beginning said that not much was damaged, and then Donald Trump said that there has been damage, and then Israel said, that there has been damage. So it's not quite clear exactly how much damage the Iran's nuclear program had sustained, but definitely there have been high-ranking commanders that were killed. We saw their funerals today in Iran.
Yeah, and
So,
clearly Israel is not making any secret of that it took out several of Iran's most senior commanders.
for sure, that much we can confirm. I mean, if Israel and Iran are both confirming the same thing, then we can call it, reliable information. How farther back this has set up Iran's nuclear program is yet to be seen. There has been a report that the U.S. could be offering money to Iran in exchange for, coming to the negotiating table and ensuring a civilian nuclear program takes place, with the promise that Iran is not going to pursue a nuclear program. Of course, during war, the rhetoric was more severe from both sides. It was different. Iran was saying we're going to amp up our efforts now to seek a nuclear weapon. So, there's peace for now.
Nada Al-Taher, senior foreign reporter at The National. Good to speak to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We are so happy today. Today is a great day indeed, like bringing the food to the Gaza people. We managed to bring 207 pallets out of a series of commodities that we are planning to bring over the next 10 days. This gift and donation is provided by the UAE and the ERC, which we greatly value and appreciate. They've been with us all the way long since the start of the war, and we hope that this aid continues to flow into the Gaza Strip.